I slept with one of my pastors in the 8th grade. I'm grown now. I feel like I can tell my story. Y'all my safe space anyway. But yes, Pastor Jerome, Grace of Faith Ministry, South Haven, Mississippi, circa 2012 or 2011. You know what I'm talking about. And I know you be seeing my videos because I be seeing you in my likes over there on Instagram. Oh, and First Lady Denise, I know that y'all still together. You know you dead wrong for allowing that stuff to still go on in that church house when you caught us in the bathroom that morning when he caught himself being late to the pulpit to preach and shit. And you sat there, walked in on us, and allowed that stuff to go on and pretended that he was nowhere near the church house. And whole time, I'm in there gawking him down. That's why I always say these churches, they'll either make you or break you. Because after all them sermons that he used to teach, because I used to listen, all them sermons he used to teach about loyalty and truth, baby, whole time you lying to God. You lying about who you is. But y'all want to know what's so crazy? I remember the day she did catch us. She caught us in the bathroom of the church or whatever. Mind you, this the preacher. This the preacher's wife. I remember it like it was yesterday. I never forget what she said when she got on that mic. I heard her through the what's the name in the bathroom. She said, if you can lie to God, you can lie to all of us. And it sounded like she was crying. No shade. And when I say when she said that, it sounded like you could hear a pin hit the floor. No shade. And little do she know, that wasn't even the first time. That shit had been going on. I'm talking outside the church, not during church. That was the only time because he was so like eager to get off his frustrations inside of his mouth. No shade. I slept with my church pastor in the 8th grade, and this is part two. I really wasn't even gonna do this, but since your kids online, they doing the most. They over there on Instagram, calling me on Instagram. Who the fuck call people on Instagram? Bitch, I ain't talked to y'all hoes in over 15 years. Bitch, this is my truth. I'm telling what the fuck went on in my life. But since Jadarius, bitch, you wanna play with me on this internet shit? I'm finna go ahead and get into it. Let's really wake it up. You on Instagram, you and your sister and your brother on Instagram talking about some, oh, he lying. Y'all know my daddy ain't with that fucking shit. Oh, was it fucking shit when he walked in on me jacking you and your brother off? Let's really gag. I was in the 8th grade. Y'all bitches in the, 11th, 12th grade at the time. And every night, every time that I would stay the night over there because your mama was practically bullying me because I was the only one on the church step team. I was the only boy on the all-girls step team at the church. My bad, y'all. I got a little mad. But continue. And she was persuading my mama to let me stay the night with y'all. But even though I was 8th grade, I was just, I was in my grown set of mind. I wasn't going back telling my mama ain't know none of that shit was going on. So for you to even be over there talking about, oh, your daddy not into that faggot shit. Bitch, he was only into the faggot shit because he seen what I was doing to y'all hoes. Every night that I would stay the night, every time I would stay the night over there, what was I doing to y'all? Jacking y'all off at the same time. You and your older brother. Bitch, don't play with me on this internet, hoe. And as far as Denise and Bria, bitch, y'all sitting up here talking about some y'all knew nothing was going on. Yes, the fuck y'all did know everything that was going on. Bitches, you stupid. The First Lady Denise, whatever you want to call yourself. Ho, when you walked in on us, you knew for a fact that wasn't the only time that shit was going on. Every time that your husband would take me home from the step practices because my mama trusted him, it was always a longer route. And what was I doing every time? We was either fucking or sucking. And what's so funny, bitch, I was sparing y'all hoes because I wasn't even looking at it like that. Oh, bitches was taking advantage of. No, I knew what I was doing. Well, I felt like I knew what I was doing. But now that I think about it, bitch, y'all hoes would wake me up out of my sleep. You, Jadarius, you and motherfucking, yeah, will wake me up out my sleep for me to come check y'all off. Don't play with me, bitch, talking about somebody trying to put ain't nobody trying to put your daddy in jail. Ain't nobody think about your daddy, bitch. I'm thinking about me and my story, bitch. Fuck your daddy, hoe.
Drop a location, bitch.
I just did. 6010 Wood Spring Suites, Camp Springs, Maryland.
Okay.
It's so funny that y'all don't even know what these people look like, and these people are dying hard, sending me death threats, going off on me, got all these church people writing me, going off, saying I'm going to hell, I'm lying on their pastor. Oh, come to find out it's a whole new church name because my homegirl Kiara told me. Shout out to you, Kiara, because she holding it down for me over there on Instagram. Y'all bitches is weird as hell. Let me just address this. Y'all wasn't the ones that was sleeping at these folks' house. At the end of the day, these was my friends. These was my church friends. Baby, we went to school together. My mama trusted these people. No, my mama did not know that any of that was going on. I literally just told her about this shit like 3 years ago. I'm coming to y'all because Again, y'all my safe space, and I just want to let y'all know what a bitch went through growing up. No shade. Y'all hoes was not standing out at these people shit, having to suck they and jack them off and have to suck just because you lost a basketball game over a PlayStation. Was it a PlayStation? Yes, like be so fucking for real. Being woke up out in the middle of the night, supposed to be being taken home from fucking practice and having to pull over on the side of the road and you getting rammed in the ass or you fucking like girl, be so fucking for real. All you old assholes that was in that church and always had something to say about me because of how flamboyant I was and me twitching and telling me to stop switching in church and stuff. All y'all hoes can eat my ass. Just like Pastor Jerome was. Yes, the nigga was eating my ass when I was in 8th grade. And y'all mad about that because y'all pastor is a liar. Y'all pastor, like little boys, he probably grew out of it. And that's why that bitch ain't saying that. It's when that bitch got the nerve to say something to me, all he doing is watching my stories. That's all he doing. But as soon as that fuck nigga say something to me, I promise you, that whole family going down, and I ain't playing. Because I looked up them little statutes of limitation or whatever. Bitch, I got up to 35 years to speak on something. And bitch, I got receipts. Ho, run with it. Why is it that I haven't even dropped no pictures, no Instagrams, no Facebook, no Twitters, no nothing? But you were sitting over there on Instagram just spiraling and going crazy. Keep tagging me and stuff. I'm not reposting you. I'm not giving you no free promo. That's what I feel like what you getting at, because the fact that you know that this shit actually happened, you know this stuff happened, you know that your daddy walked in on this, on all three of us doing what we was doing, and he fake confronted us, talking about some y'all don't do that, y'all little boys, y'all like girls and this and that, and your daddy waited 2 months down the line just to make a move on me. But you sitting up here talking about some, oh, you none of that went on, this and that, girl, and you know that shit went on. You know your daddy played. It went on for 6 months after that until your mama claimed that that was the first time of her seeing everything. Girl, bye. Bye. Y'all hoes is weird. Like, shit is going crazy. Crazy. Nothing but South Haven people. Nothing but them. Like, come on now. Like, y'all doing all this for what? For what? You know this shit went on. You know it happened. Y'all weird. And for all these old washed up people coming to his defense saying that I'm lying, I'm going to hell. Y'all wasn't even there. Oh, and Brother Raymond and Mother Ruth, please stop calling my mama. She don't want to hear none of that. This ain't got nothing to do with my mama. My mama cannot tame me. She can't tell me to delete nothing off my Instagram. So handle y'all friends and don't handle me, old assholes. The only thing I left out about this whole Jerome situation is due to the fact that I was still linking up with this man after I turned 18. I remember I'm 28, so I remember when I was 24, I had told my boyfriend at the time, I was like, this is the person that was, sexually when I was younger, like, and this nigga is in Atlanta, he want to hang, like, he want to go out to eat, and I remember like it was yesterday, we went to Applebee's off of Memorial Drive. Even then, he didn't seem like anything was wrong. Like, he felt like he didn't do anything bad. But in my mind, the whole time we sitting down eating, it's like, nigga, I was fucking you when I was in 8th grade. Like, what the fuck? And I honestly feel like that's why I don't want anything bad to happen to him, because I actually genuinely care for this man. I don't know what that is or what that is in me, but that's just me. And I also feel like that's why he contacted me saying that he wants to link up with me, but he's scared because he feel like I'm going to have the police involved. I'm not having no police involved, baby. I don't even play with the police. Like, no, if you want to talk, I'm down to talk, but I don't want to, I don't need Denise, Bria, Jadarius. I don't need none of them hoes there with us, because that's what's going to make me spaz the fuck out. So I am going to talk to him and get his agreement to, we get on camera together and we talk this shit out. No shade.
You can see it written all over his face. The pain, the conflict, the weight of 15 years finally breaking through. Here stands a 28-year-old man reclaiming the voice that was stolen from him when he was just an 8th grader. And God, it's a story we know too well. Someone cloaked in authority, wrapped in the title Man of God, weaponizing that trust to prey on a child. There's no gray area here. It's wrong. Full stop. But what cuts deepest is the response. Instead of surrounding this young man with the compassion he deserved all along, We believe you. We see you. We failed you, and we're sorry. He's met with death threats and scripture twisted into shields. It's that toxic, old guard church mentality. Protect the pulpit, preserve the image, silence the victim. Reputation over righteousness. It's not just disappointing, it's devastating. And First Lady Denise, if she truly walked in on the abuse and chose to look away, to carry on as if nothing had shattered in that moment, that's not complicity. That's betrayal with a capital B. To hold a position of maternal authority in a congregation and turn a blind eye to a child being violated under your watch? One day, she'll have to reckon with that. Perhaps the most heartbreaking layer is hearing him admit he still cares for Jerome. That's not weakness. That's the insidious mark of grooming. When you're manipulated that young, your understanding of love, safety, and trust gets warped beyond recognition. He's trying to untangle the impossible, how the same person who hurt him was also someone he admired, maybe even loved. It's messy, it's complex, and it underscores just how much healing lies ahead. Still, I'm grateful he's speaking. The loudest preachers so often harbor the darkest secrets, and the only disinfectant is sunlight. My deepest hope is that he finds the professional support and community he truly needs, because carrying trauma like that for 15 years, that's a burden no one should bear alone.
My neighbor murdered my mom, and here's what happened. This is going to be broken down in a few parts. One of the main reasons is because my son is outside playing, and when he comes in the house, I don't want to talk about this about him because he doesn't know. So this took place when I was 15. My brother was 18, and I don't recall my mom's exact age. I would have to pull my calculator up to do the math, but she was young herself. We were moving from the west side of Fresno, and ironically, this is when Craigslist was really popping. And I'm the one that found the townhouses. Me being a young age, I had to have been 12 or 13 when I had found it, but whatever. So she found I found the townhouse, she applied, and we moved in. Now everything was perfectly fine. I'm trying to recall exactly how they laid everything out on Fear Thy Neighbor. I only seen that once. I did not watch it again, and I watched it when it first aired, and I was so fucking mad. So I'm trying to make sure the timeline of events add up from the show and actually what really happened. So a little stuff may be off timeline wise. So anyways, initially when we moved in, everything was perfectly fine. I remember vividly my mom introducing me to the neighbor, the wife, Laura, the one that started all this. We were in the backyard. It was in some townhouses. Townhouses are set up, if you know, it's a common wall and a common back patio gate. We were talking over the fence. So everybody introduced each other, blah, blah, blah. My mom was like, this is my daughter, Dejanay, da, da, da. I remember vividly, may the Lord strike me down right now. After that introduction, I told my mom, I said, it's something about this lady I do not like. Me being a kid, my mom was kind of like, girl, you tripping. I'm a minor, right? And my mom was such this happy-go-lucky, happy-spirited, she loved everybody type shit. So she kind of brushed what I said off. Again, as time went on, everything was perfectly fine. I remember vividly in Fear Thy Neighbor, again, they were trying to portray my mom to be some beggar, asking for money, asking for food, knocking on the door at 2:00 in the morning, asking it for seasoning salt and shit like that. That was lies. Again, that back patio gate, Laura, the lady, she did barbecue often, and she would offer us food, and vice versa. When my mom would cook, she would offer her food. Everything was mutual. There was no begging or my mom, just no begging. That was bullshit. That's all I'm gonna keep saying. That is total bullshit. My mom did work, and after work, my mom would come home, make sure we were straight, and she did go over to her house, or they'll sit outside, or maybe Laura's coming over in our backyard. We go over there in her backyard. She'll go over there in her backyard, and they would drink and, mingle with one another, as neighbors do. Everything was fine. This went on for months. There was no issues, no confrontations, no anything. How my mom was, she was the go-getter. Like, she always tried her best to improve her life no matter what. She had told me, again, because me and my mom were so close, she had told me, Dejanay, like, I want to go back to school. I want to go back to nursing school. I want to get my LVN license. I just want to do better. Her initial plan was to go back, finish school, and she actually wanted to move us out of Fresno. But of course, it's all baby steps. So when she had that conversation with me in sidebar, I was actually helping her with like one of the prereqs. It was a computer class that she wanted to do, and I was helping her with that. So she said that she wanted to stop hanging out, like that free time she would have when she would come home from work and, after cooking dinner and stuff like that. She wanted to use that to focus on school and her prereqs and stuff. So my mom slowly start dwelling back and stopped all the not necessarily partying, but, kicking it with the neighbors. She's stopping it. And as she slowly start becoming more reserved, the neighbor started turning weird. It became like an obsessive weird. And I've spoken to people about this. My mom was so beautiful. When I find pictures, I'm going to post her. She was so beautiful. Always carried herself well and things like that. And everyone keeps saying that lady was just jealous of your mom's spirit. And now as I get older and I've experienced like weird stuff like that myself, it really is like a devil and an angel thing. Like, when people have that evil in them, they cannot stand being someone who has that bright light, or they want to be in that light to suck it, So it first started with like little slick comments here and there and all that. Then it gradually went into something worse. Again, with us having that common wall, this lady would often blast her music 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when she know everyone's home and everyone's asleep. She would purposely put her speaker up against the wall so we can hear it. These walls are thin, so it doesn't take much. You can even be walking up and down the apartment and you can hear, little muffles from the people talking next door. So imagine if you're hearing somebody blasting their music 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning with the speaker purposely up against the wall. And I've had video footage of that, but it happened so long ago, I lost it. I don't know where it's at. Or she would even, as she's walking up the stairs in her apartment complex, she would beat on the wall. Like, you'll beat on the wall, she'll beat on the wall, blast her music and all that. And again, like I stated in Fear Thy Neighbor, when you picking on somebody, and I never once denied that, somebody, it's often going to be retaliation. So when she started that, shit, my mama was doing the same thing back. I'm not even going to lie about that, but she's the one that started it, It went from that to her throwing garbage over the fence. We would come home, it's garbage all in our backyard, like food. It was just like a whole bunch of weird shit. I want to say that went on for months. And as I'm an adult now, I can really sit here and say the shit was just fucking petty. It was petty. Even as a kid, I was saying that shit was petty. Like, I didn't understand anybody grown. She was my mom's elder. Where we act like that, and it was genuinely for no reason. She would even take it amongst herself. It was a neighbor across the way. She would go to her house, look through her window to stare at our apartment complex. Mind you, we're literally neighbors. It became obsessive to the point I can't even put it in words. Like, the lady just was obsessed with my mom for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that to be a victim. I'm saying that because it really is evil, crazy people out there. The police were called so many times. My mom did it just to keep that paper trail. When shit started getting really, really bad, like when she would pull guns out on us, she would yell, scream. She was fishing for a problem. And her boyfriend, the one that pulled the trigger, he even got involved a few times. And as crazy as it sounds, he wasn't the aggressive one. He was actually trying to diffuse a lot of the situation. She was starting a lot of issues when he was gone because he spent all day at work and he'll come home late at night. And sometimes he'll walk in the middle of an argument or a fight or something, and he just would grab her up, like literally physically pick her up and take her in the house. And he would tell us sorry. It's like he knew she was. I'm gonna continue the rest of the part 2 because my son just came in the house and he doesn't know none of this, and I don't want him hearing this. So yeah, like I stated previously, this lady would pull guns out on us. Mind you, Fresno PD was informed of this from the first all the way into the last occasion, because this is the crazy ass woman that's pulling a gun out on a woman and her kids. She pulled a gun out a few times on me just by myself. Mind you, I'm a minor and stuff like that. My mom by herself and things like that. Fresno PD would claim that they searched the house. Like, they'll come over here, they'll come over to our side, our complex, our apartment, whatever, get a statement, go over there, search the house, and never find anything. And I say that because the day that my mom was murdered and we were all shot, they found like 6 guns. I later found that out in court. Like, there was several guns in that house, which I already figured it was because she would not just pull just the same gun, you know? They did get into, as I stated, Fear Thy Neighbor. And throughout this time, I told this story a umpteen billion times. They did get into physical altercations, verbal altercations, and things like that. But again, I just cannot wrap my head around how my mom wanting to fall back, you know, be more reserved, focus on school and work and stuff like that, and her kids really struck a nerve for this lady. And the lady was so petty, again, because they once were cool, and how my mom, man, she's an open book. She's just like me. She's an open book. Well, I'm just like her, should I say. The lady went as far as the guy that my mom was dating at the time. She called up to his job to try to get him fired. She made up a lie and everything, and it's just like, damn, lady, like, what the hell's wrong with you? And just to briefly touch on Fear Thy Neighbor, because like I said, they totally spent everything out of narrative. And I stand on the fact, because she was more of the selling point, more animated and things like that, they ran with what she said and kind of threw me in there like oh, but this could have happened. They didn't put in everything that I said. And when they ask you certain questions, if you've never been on a TV show, especially like a true crime, which I hope nobody ever goes on that, they would give you a question and they will make you respond a certain way. So if the lady asks me, oh, did she throw garbage? And if I respond with just a yes, we would have to do the takeover and say, oh, yes, she throw garbage. And in that show, like, certain responses, they chopped up and put it with shit that I wasn't even responding to that. So if I'm giving a response to trash, they would like chop it up and make it seem like I was talking about something else when I was not talking about that. That's another thing that really, 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 really pissed me off to the core. Because as I watched it, I only watched it once when it aired. I was just like, that wasn't even for that. Like, what's going on here? Eventually, my mom did get fed up. She was just like, you know what? I'm done. We all grew this apartment anyways. They were building brand new apartments on the other side of town. She said, we're just going to move over there. We were so close to leaving. We were 6 days away from our moving day. Like, when all this happened, our apartment was packed up. And I did not know, again, up until all this shit happened, they had got served with an eviction notice. So everybody was literally on their way out. Okay, so part 3, I'm going to kind of just jump to the night before everything happened and then go forward from there, because you guys can kind of sense it was just a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, too much back and forth. And once we got our moving date, my mom really was just like, you know what, shit, you can have at it. Like, this is all you. And sidebar, just to weigh in on how bad things got, this lady attacked my mom. I don't know if you guys know, like back in the day how they had, I'm sure they still have them now, but those locks that go on the car steering wheel, the bar thing. She had ran up on my mom and like hit my mom with those. Like, when I mean like it got really, 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 really bad, it got bad. And again, with my mom trying to just better her life and all that, she was just like, this is not worth it. It's getting way too much. Fresno PD wasn't doing anything, you know? We already had our move-in date. Again, when all this happened, it was 6 days. We were scheduled to move out or whatever. I do recall them getting into like a very heated argument like a day or two before this happening or whatever. The lady did her normal spew, she threw like hella garbage over our back patio and stuff like that or whatever the case may be. And just like I meant to in that documentary, I mean, the show or whatever, documentary or whatever, my mom did, wrap toilet paper. It was actually me and my mom wrapped toilet paper around their car. I'm not denying that. Never once denied that. I didn't deny it in court. I did not deny it on the show or anything like that. But toilet paper compared to like all the garbage and shit that was in our backyard is kind of like whatever. Ironically, the day that everything happened, this was on a Wednesday, I want to say, because I was supposed to be at school. My brother was supposed to be at school. We had like early let out, so we are going to get home like around 12 o'clock. My mom was just like, you guys can stay home. So we wake up, we're walking to the store. I see the guy, he's at the door messing with his door or something like that. I don't know what he's doing. It looked like he was changing the locks. I don't know exactly what he was doing at all. But we proceeded to walk to the store. We're talking and stuff. And the last conversation I had with my mom was, again, like I said previously, about grandkids. She was the lady that loved the kids. And she's like, I can't wait, this and this and this, whatever. So as we're walking back, this lady just comes up, macing us. It wasn't even mace. It was like a cleaning mixture. And how the complexes are set up, it's hours in the back, and then you can walk through the driveway of another complex. So after walking up to head to our apartment, she's walking towards us and she just spraying stuff at us, and it smelled like it was bleach and like, I know for a fact it was bleach in there and probably like Ajax and like some more. It was just like a whole bunch of cleaning stuff, and it was very, very, very strong. So I had some Powerades in my hand and I started throwing them at her. And my mom was just like, what are you doing? Like, the fuck? Like, I'm here with my daughter and stuff like that. My mom started yelling and cussing at her and stuff like that or whatever. So she runs, and this is why I believe she should have been charged, and I believe it was premeditated, and I'm going to stand on that. As we're walking in the walkway, she had one of those portable camping eyes. You know how you can get like the stove eyes or whatever, the portable ones if you're out camping or whatever the case may be. She had it at the door with a boiling pot of hot water. She grabs the pot, runs, dump it on my mom, and started hitting my mom with the pot. At this time, it's not even clicking to me like what's going on. I'm just like, what is this? Hot water? Like the water was really, really hot, but I didn't really understand like what was happening until the pot fell. It takes a lot to dent a pot. This lady was hitting my mom in the head with the pot. And immediately when I seen the pot bent up on the ground, I jumped in because, she has the one up on my mom. My mom just got doused with boiling hot water and hitting upside the head with a pot several times. Like, hell yeah, anybody in their right mind is going to jump in and defend their mom. So then the boyfriend comes in, he pulls me off. I call my brother down because this is a man. My brother tries to grab a girlfriend off of my mom, and then I'm standing up trying to pull my mom away. The boyfriend punches me in the face. I fall to the ground. And if you know how adrenaline works, you don't feel anything. Like, I'm not even feeling him hit me. This is a grown man hitting a 15-year-old girl. I did not feel anything. So my brother was just like, oh, so you're going to hit my sister? The boyfriend laughs and said, yeah. My brother tries to swing at him. He misses. Everybody slowly like scattered apart a little bit. Reaches into his jacket. He had one of those jackets that had a pocket in the inside. Reaches in there, says, fuck this shit. Literally, fuck this shit. He shot at my mom. Again, adrenaline, and it's not even clicking to me what's going on. He shot at my mom. I see my mom fall. He shot towards me. But when he's pointing the gun at me, I kind of turned my body at an angle like I wanted to run. He shot towards me. I fall. And then he starts shooting at my brother. My brother did not fall. So due to the fact he didn't see my brother fall, he ran up to my brother. I turned and seen him. He had the gun to my brother's head and was trying to pull the trigger. By the grace of God, the gun jammed. I'm on the ground crying. I'm looking. I just seen my mom with a whole bunch of blood. I bent down. I didn't see any like bullet wounds on my mom. I didn't even feel like I didn't even feel me getting hit with bullets. But I bent down. I gave my mom a kiss. I told her I love her. I tried knocking on my neighbor's door. She didn't answer. And then I ran to the driveway. How our driveway in the complex was set up, it's like 3 or 4 different areas you can park your car at. But like I said previously, my mom laced me with so much game. My mom always told me, if you ever get shot, do not run. You will die losing so much blood running. Just try your best to walk as fast, get out the way, but do not run because you'll lose a lot of blood. So in the midst of me like trying to run, I slowed down because it hit me like, do not run, do not run. I don't want to die. So I sat in the middle. I tried to sit down. I jumped up because I felt uncomfortable. I later found out I got shot in my butt. I got shot in my elbow, twice in my stomach, and in my butt. I had a family member stand. We had a family member stand in the back of us. He had came up running, asking what happened. And I was just like, he shot us. So he ran back over there to the scene where everything happened. My adrenaline was so high and I was like, what the fuck just happened? I didn't even realize I had got shot that many times up until I got to the hospital. But as they laid me on the stretcher, they lifted my shirt up. My brother was next to me, and my brother doesn't cry, but just looking at him cry, I knew it was bad. And then this is gonna piss me off. They went to get a stretcher for my mom, and then it was 2 EMTs talking. He was like, "Oh, we don't need a stretcher for the other one. The other one's gone." And I'm all like, "My mom died." Like I'm like, "What are you saying? She gone?" And I turned to my brother. I was like, "Mom's dead." Like he just said, "Mom's died and mom's gone." And my brother's like, "Don't say that. Don't say that. She's fine." But I know exactly what I heard. Like why, like, like, and how he kind of said it was so like, I get it. That's their job. They're not supposed to be emotional or anything like that. I'm not going to take that away from them. I understand that completely. But it was just like, she's gone. Like, don't even worry about the stretcher. So yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. I want to take a pause right here because I feel myself, I'm not going to cry. I feel myself getting a little too emotional, but yeah. Okay, so part 4. Before I get started, I want to say thank you guys so much. So many prayers, thoughts and positivity. I just really thank you guys. It means so much to me. I never thought like I'll be able to say this stuff publicly like this. Again, this is something I never told anybody. Like I see it's slowly reaching people from the city I'm in. And people are messaging me like, I never knew that happened to you. Like, I never knew this happened to you. I never knew all this stuff happened to you or whatever. It's because I don't carry myself like that. That's just not how I was raised. My mom was such this positive person. And then she always had like these little things she would say, like, don't let one bad morning ruin your whole day, and be kind to others. You never know what anybody's going through, and things like that. She was just super positive, and she poured that into me. So that's just how I navigate my life. I have my moments to where I just am out of it. Like I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like being bothered. Like I have my moments just like everybody else, especially dealing with this, but I do not project that to anybody or anything. That's just not me. That's just not how I was raised. And again, like I stated in the previous video, even with all that I've been through, I'm not taking that out on my son. I'm not going to strip my son of his childhood and getting to know people, he can't play with the neighbors. I stay in a beautiful, nice neighborhood, and I'm not going to punish him for that. So going back to the day of, and it didn't even click to me. My best friend, I've been knowing my guy best friend for 10 plus years. He did not know all this stuff, and he had called me once he watched my videos and everything, and he pointed out a fact. This guy, Alvin, said he had the gun on him because my mom approached him the night before and said my brothers and my brother's homies was going to jump him. Lies. My brother is a square. He lives a straight life. None of that stuff. But like my best friend pointed out, if that was the truth, and you had that gun on you for self-defense, why did you pull the trigger if none of that stuff happened. You were fearing for your life. You had the gun on you allegedly because you were told that by my mom that somebody's going to come jump you, right? You didn't get jumped. This is a girl fight. The boiling hot water was enough. Enough. Shit could have ended right there. That was bad enough. But you took it a step further and you literally wanted to kill us all. His intentions was to kill. Again, nothing in that screams self-defense. The boiling hot water gave them the one up. I'm not talking about sink hot water. I seen the steam. This was, and I'm gonna keep saying this, premeditated. What psychotic person, what person in their right mind would think I'm going to pour scorching hot, boiling hot water on this lady and beat her with a pot? That's some psychotic shit, right? So yeah, let him tell it. The reason why he had the gun on him was because I was fearing for my life. She approached me the night before saying that her son and his homies were gonna come jump me. But this all took place around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You didn't see nobody there. You seen a woman and her two kids. So yeah, that didn't even register to me up until literally yesterday when I was on the phone talking to my best friend about that. I was like, yeah, that is true. But yeah, when you go through so much stuff, a lot of shit, it doesn't click. Like I said, it's just too much to unpack, and that's not really something I even considered up until I was telling him exactly in detail and all that what happened. But fast forward to the court case. Again, the girlfriend Laura, she was not charged with anything, not for the boiling hot water, not anything. She's still currently free, harassing people. And actually, I received a message today. I'm not gonna even say who it was from, but it was from somebody that's in the same city as us, saying that lady, like I said before, she goes around saying that, and she actually carries a gun in her purse. The person told me it is the gun that allegedly killed my mom. I don't think that's true because let the detectives tell it. They collected all the guns, but how sloppy Fresno PD was, there really is no telling what she has on her, honestly. But the person told me she does carry a gun in her purse. So there's that. But yeah, to the court case, it was, I had to take the stand twice. It was a mistrial. I think the jury, they said the jury did not come to a decision, so we had to try him again. He tried pleading insanity and all that, whatever. Eventually, he did get sentenced. I don't know the exact amount of time. I always say 60 plus years to life. But I see a few people in the comments, they looked up his charge and they're saying 83 years to life. Again, it's one of those things to where I just know he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life. He did try to file an appeal. The appeal got denied. But just like I had told the DA when they had called me, I was just like, this man literally shot and killed a woman and tried to kill her two kids. And you think now that you found God or whatever the case may be, we're supposed to have like some type of sympathy towards you? No. You sit in jail. You sit in jail for the rest of your life, dying there. I don't give a fuck. So Laura, she was banned from attending trial. If I recall correctly, she attended like 1 or 2 dates, and then the attorney did approach us and said she just can't attend anymore for whatever reason, who knows. But thinking back, when they did sentence him and everyone got to give like their thoughts at the end and stuff like that, just like I had told him, I'm 15. I'm a sophomore in high school, right? My mom missed everything. And we already know how it is being in high school. High school is tough. And I attended that without my mom. Just like I told him, graduation is gone. Prom is gone. She will never be able to see me as an adult. She will never be able to see her grandkids whenever we do have kids. At the time, again, I'm 15. I didn't have any kids. You robbed me. You stripped me away from that. And me and my mom were so close. Like, that was literally my best friend. People often thought we were sisters because my mom, first of all, my mom looked so young. But we were always together. And I'm like, you robbed me of that. And I still deal with that shit to this day. I got a kid here now. I can't even tell him. He looks at my mom's ashes. Mom, what happened to grandma? I can't sit there and tell my son what happened to his grandma, because he's not gonna understand that. And that shit fucks with me so bad. I went through my whole high school year without the one person, my backbone. That's my everything, just gone. And I never in a million years thought that I would see my mom pass, like, especially how she went out. Like, it's crazy. As I stated before, we were 6 days away from moving. I don't know what my mom felt like. This always gets me. You know how you have to have money orders to move into a place? For whatever reason, instead of putting those money orders to move in her name, my mom put the money orders to move in my brother's name. I did not know this up until we actually moved, and the lady, the manager for the complex, was just like, do you not know your mom put the money orders in your brother's name? She didn't even put them in her name. And we were kind of like, well, why would she do that? That shit still trips me out to this day. And I'm just like, did she feel something was going to happen? Why would you do that? Me as a parent, I would never do that. But those are just answers we would never get.
Here's a refined version that sharpens the emotional impact. Hearing her describe how that woman repeatedly pulled guns on them, with police called every single time, only to do nothing, it's beyond frustrating. It's that all too familiar failure. The people sworn to protect you, treating clear warning signs like background noise, until tragedy forces them to pay attention. And she was just a child, watching her mother live under that constant threat. No kid should carry that kind of terror. What really breaks through is the way she speaks about her mom. You can hear it in her voice. They were inseparable, best friends in the truest sense. That bond was everything, which makes the loss even more devastating. She lost her anchor, her backbone, right as she was navigating the most formative years of her life. High school, graduation, prom, the leap into adulthood. Her mother should have been there for every milestone. Instead, she was ripped away by someone's senseless, unhinged violence. It's a wound that will never fully close. Then, there's that haunting detail about the money orders. Why her mom put them in her brother's name just before they were set to move. It sits there like an unanswered question. Did she sense something? Was there some quiet maternal instinct whispering that danger was near? The thought is both eerie and heartbreaking. But what stands out most is how she's chosen to live now. Despite the trauma, the mistrials, the botched investigation that failed her family, she's raising her son with positivity and love. She's refusing to let bitterness take root, actively breaking a cycle she had every reason to perpetuate. That takes remarkable strength.
Right, story time about Bonnie Lee and Kira Cousins. So, 8-9 months ago, she texted me telling me that she was pregnant, and I was so happy for her. And she told me that Jamie didn't want to tell his mum, so she begged and begged Jamie to tell his mum that they were having this baby, and he begged her to get an abortion. And anyway, a few days later, she ended up texting Jamie's mum on her own, saying that they were having a baby and she was pregnant. And his mum wasn't happy because they'd only been getting to know each other for a month, but they were in the Orange Walk together. And anyway, so she announces it on Facebook and everybody is so happy for her. Everybody believes Kira. And then 3-4 months go by and she has a gender reveal, and everybody is at the gender reveal, both sides of the family at the gender reveal. And then she makes it a wee girl because Jamie's mum only has 3 grandsons and her mum doesn't have any granddaughters or any grandsons. Her own mum believed that she was going to be a grand for the first time. She was so happy. And then 2 weeks after the gender reveal, she posts that the baby has a hole in its heart. And I genuinely believe she said that the baby has a hole in its heart, so in like a couple of weeks' time after the baby was born, she could have then said the baby had died if her cousin or mum didn't walk in and see that it was a doll. So, anyway, the 10th of October comes and I have 2 missed calls for it at 1:30 and I feel shit because I didn't answer it. The next morning, or that same morning, I wake up at 7:30 and I've got a text message for Kira saying, "Hi, it's Bonnie Lee. I was born at 2:46 a.m. I weigh 5 pound 4 ounce, the exact same weight as my daddy when he was born." And I send her a video and I'm like, oh my god, like, congratulations, she's so cute. But I felt so bad because she done it on her own. She sent me a video of her walking out of the hospital with Bonnie Lee, this doll, in the car seat, and she has like everything that the hospital would give you. But my mum seen on Facebook yesterday that it's like a baby box thing, and it's all the exact same bottles and dummies that Kira had for Bonnie Lee. So anyway, on the 10th of October, she decides to take the baby to her stepfather's dead grave. So she takes a picture of it and she posts it on Facebook, and then the next day she posts on Facebook thanking her gran and great gran for buying Bonnie Lee her first chair. And she even wrote on it, like, "I'm even opening my eyes to be nosy in it." But all through the pregnancy she was saying that Jamie and his family are the worst people ever, they didn't help her through it, and painting them out to be really evil people. And she ends up, on the second day, she takes the baby up to Jamie's house and the mum says, "It's a doll, it's no moving, it's freezing cold." So Kira grabs the doll in the car seat, makes Jamie take her to Wisher General, says to Jamie, "You're not allowed in because you're not allowed in any of the appointments." And Jamie believed it because for the first appointment that he took her to, she had told him that you're not allowed in. So she comes out and she says to Jamie that the baby is fine, we've just to keep it wrapped up, and the baby has mucus. And she only says the baby has mucus because Jamie wanted a DNA test, and you can't take a DNA test if the baby's got mucus. So she's very smart. She didn't miss anything out. And it's crazy because I believed it that much because she was sending me scan pictures, she was sending me videos at the hospital, like, she just made everything seem so real. And then the third day, she texts me saying, "Niamh, I need to get out of this house." So I text her and I say, "Do you want me to come and pick you up since you've just had a baby? I'll drive." And she was like, "Aye." And she says, "I'll bring the pram so we can go a walk," because she didn't ever want to sit in the house because people would ask her, like, kind of have a holiday, like, go up to her and touch her maybe, and she didn't want that because she didn't want anybody to realise that it was a doll so quick. And anyway, I go and get her and I text her when I'm outside and I say, "Kira, I'm outside, do you want a hand?" And she goes, "No, it's okay." So anyway, I go to her door and she doesn't expect me to be there, so the car seat is like facing out, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, she's tiny, she's so cute," because she's wrapped up, she's got a big hat on and she's got a dummy in, and I'm like, "Oh my god, she's so cute." And Kira's like, "I know, I have to keep her wrapped up," because we had her at the hospital yesterday. And I was just thinking, like, I said to her, "Kira, we're not taking the way on a walk because you've already took the baby to the hospital and you've been told, like, it's too cold to take it a walk." And she made Jamie take the baby a walk, like, up the Kelpies and all that. And this doll you could actually feed, and literally, like, in the same minute it would shit. That's what Jamie said. She never fed the baby when she was at mine. So anyway, she asked me, can you take me to Morrison's? And I say, aye, of course I can. That's where she works. So she wanted to show everybody in her work this doll. So we get there and she says, Neve, can you push the pram till I get a couple of things? She was getting Red Bull and stuff. And then she takes the pram and she takes it up to the office bit. And everybody's coming out and looking in the pram, saying, oh my god, she's so cute, she's tiny, congratulations, putting money in. And then we get the doll back in mine, and I'm driving 20 mile an hour on the motorway, so I don't hit any bumps, I don't make like the baby scared or put it into shock or anything. Like, I was just being so careful with it because I had a doll in the car, well, which I thought was an actual real baby. And we come to my mum's, and my mum opens the door and she's like, oh my god, it's so nice to see you, because Kira had been telling her all through her pregnancy that she couldn't wait to see her. And she sits down and we lift, like my mum goes to lift her cover up and Kira slaps my mum's phone away, and my mum just sits back down and we're just talking to Kira and that, and Kira stands up and like shows us these big nappy things that she's wearing. She's like, because of all the blood and all that. And so we're believing her, and we're just like talking to Kira and asking her about everything, and she always had an answer for absolutely everything. She was still making Jamie and his family out to be these horrible people, and Jamie is phoning her asking for a DNA test, and she's like, no, I know that, like, no, the veins got mucus, we can't do it. And her cousin had phoned her and said, Kira, I'm not being funny, but why have you took the Wayne up to your pal's house if not even all your family's seen her? And she was like, I'll bring her up tomorrow. And her cousin was like, no, we've got a concert. So Kira was like getting ready to go, and my mum says, oh, you're not leaving without giving us a wee cuddle? And she's like, no, nobody's touching the Wayne, nobody's getting to hold the Wayne. I've already took her to the hospital yesterday, she's no well. And mum's like, alright. And I was like, right, Kira, come on, I'll just take you home, because it was a bit weird, like, just was. And when I'm taking her home, she phoned Jamie and was like, Jamie, you need to be at mine for this time to feed the Wayne. So that was fine. And then the next day comes and I go on Snapchat to realise that all the pictures of Bonnie Lee and videos of Bonnie Lee have been deleted for our chats. So I text her and I'm like, Kira, what the fuck? Why have you deleted all the pictures of Bonnie Lee? She opens it and ignores it. And then I add Jamie on Snapchat and he sends laughing faces, and I'm like, what the fuck? But my niece, who works in Airdrie, had sent me a message saying, Neve, is this a doll? And my mum had said, Neve, it might be a doll, because she wouldn't let any of us touch it. And then it all came out. I don't know if it was her mum or cousin that walked in on her, and basically the doll was just left and she was on her phone. And everybody found out that it was a doll. And I just don't know how to feel right now. Like, I feel so fucking dumb, because I was in Morrison's where I had the doll in my car, I had the doll in my house. Like, she was sitting in my house making bottles up and all that. Like, it's crazy. I just can't believe how much one person can affect somebody, and she has affected me like nobody else has ever affected me this bad. Like, I feel like if somebody has to tell me I'm pregnant, I'm going to just punch it and be like, no, you're not, it's a doll. And for anybody that's going to ask, how did you not know it was a doll? I could tell. Like, no, like, shut the fuck up, because you weren't there, you weren't involved, like, you don't know how she was acting. Like, we just thought she was being an overprotective mum. And for the people that are going to say, like, I think she needs help, no, she doesn't. She needs jail. She needs, like, something bad to happen to her. Like, the way she has made Jamie and his family feel, the way she has made her own family feel. I've got text messages for her auntie that lives in Wales saying, I sent £500 up because I couldn't make the gender reveal. Like, how do you think she feels? Believing that she was going to be a great auntie. She doesn't need any sort of help. She needs jail. Like, I kind of want Jamie to take it to court to get her done for emotional damage that she's caused him. She doesn't need any sort of help. I wonder where she is right now, and I wonder where that doll is. I just can't believe it. And I already feel like such a fool, like, for no realising, but a real life doll, like, she must have paid, like, close to £1,000 for it. So, like, no, you couldn't really tell. You couldn't tell at all. And she wouldn't let you, like, so it would be like, you need to look at the car seat for, like, there. The closest I got to her was when she opened the door, and I just looked in, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And I wish I had realised, I really wish I had, but if I had realised when she was in my house, then I don't know what would have happened. I would have probably went crazy. So I'm glad I kind of never found out that when she was in my house, because I don't know what would have happened. But she doesn't need any sort of help. She needs the jail. She really does. And I'm shite at TikTok. I don't know how to upload all the pictures and all that. So I'll try and do it, but if I can't, I can't. It's all on my Facebook anyway. But I felt like I had to make this because everybody is tagging me and shit. And I just want people to know that I was no involved in it whatsoever. And I feel just deflated. I feel like I'll not be able to trust anybody for a long time. If they tell me, like, they are pregnant, I'll be wondering, like, is it a doll? Is it real? Like, she is fucked up. She's an actual demon. I hope I never see her again. So, this is Kira at her own gender reveal, and me looking like a fanny at a gender reveal for a doll. But at the time, believing I was being supportive for a friend. Then she also went to a wedding with a fake bump. Then she said that the baby had heart problems. And then she was buying the baby clothes. And then the mum and gran bought the £1,000 pram. Then she sent me a video of the baby kicking. Then she posted on Facebook saying thanks to the gran and great gran for buying her a chair. Then there was just more photos of Kira and Bonnie Lee, this doll. Then in a few settings, the text messages are going to come up where she says that she had took Bonnie Lee to the hospital because she was cold, etc. Then all the blue chats that you'll see is me when I found out that it's a doll. That's her saying happy birthday to me. And then this is what her aunties just sent me here. She thinks her mum was in it. And so they are.
She didn't just tell a little white lie. She constructed an entire alternate reality. A gender reveal party, inviting both families, taking money from a grandmother who thought she was about to welcome her first grandbaby. That is just plain wicked. There is no other word for it. To prey on people's excitement and their heartstrings like that is a special kind of cold. And then she's out here wearing adult diapers and talking about all the blood and the pain from a birth that never happened. The commitment to the bit is honestly scary. She had a whole script ready for every question. The baby has mucus. The baby has a hole in its heart. You can't touch the baby because it's too cold. She thought of everything just to keep that doll in that car seat a little bit longer. I feel so much for Neve and the rest of the friends and family. You can see the hurt and the pure confusion in her eyes. Imagine driving 20 miles per hour on the highway, heart in your throat, trying to be as gentle as possible because you think there's a fragile newborn in the back, only to find out you were chauffeuring a piece of plastic. The betrayal of trust is just deep. It's going to take them a long time to ever believe anyone telling them they're pregnant again. It's just wild how far some people will go for attention or whatever it is she was seeking. This wasn't just a fake pregnancy. It was a full-scale emotional assault on everyone who cared about her. I'm with Neve. She doesn't need a chat. She needs to answer for the emotional damage she's caused. Some people are just dangerous with their delusions, and this is a prime example.
Story time about how I had a baby with my baby daddy's brother. I'm going to give y'all a little backstory, and then we're going to get right into the story. So I'm going to give y'all a little backstory, and then I'm going to get right into the story. So, boom, me and my baby daddy met whenever we was in high school. We went to high school together, and at some point we ended up talking, and then I stopped talking to him. A little while after that, like a few months later, maybe like 6 months later, he ended up trying to talk to me again, and then, that's how, we ended up, things transpired from there. So, after high school, me and him ended up moving in together. I got pregnant. We ended up breaking up a little while after. And after that, he went to prison 4 days after my daughter was born. So, while he was in prison, I already knew his brother and everything was cool. Me and his brother was always cool, like a sister-in-law, brother-in-law relationship. So everything was all cool, and then, he went to prison, my baby daddy went to prison, and, we would, speak, me and the brother would speak about, my baby daddy being in prison, when he's coming home and things like that. When my baby daddy would call me, he would ask me, to do a 3-way so he could talk to his brother and everything like that, and, that's just that. So, after a while, me and my baby daddy just, was not even on that no more. And the brother started to look good to me. I'm like, okay. So, the brother actually came on to me, and I was like, all right, cool. Okay, cool. So we started talking. My baby daddy did not know at the time. He's still in prison at this time. So, after that, me and my brother-in-law, supposedly, we're starting to take things to the next level. We was, seeing each other every day. We was talking every day. At this point, we was in a relationship. So, one day, my baby daddy had called me, and he, I low-key forgot y'all was brothers. So, my baby daddy called me, and I'm in the car with his brother. So, he's like, hey, what up, or whatever, they start talking, and then my baby daddy was like, what you doing, what y'all got going on? And he's like, oh, no, I'm chilling with my girl. And he's like, my girl, bitch, is you cool? And he's like, oh, shit. We look at each other like, bitch, what the fuck? So, after that, he knew, and, he texted me a big old paragraph, and he, fucked up with me. He gonna come home and do this and do that and do that. And, well, there's nothing I could do about it now. So, we kind of just, after that, we kind of just agreed, we don't even need to be doing this. That's fucked up, So, after that, 2-3 weeks later, y'all, I found out I was pregnant. So, obviously, it's by the brother. So, now I got 2 brothers, both my baby daddies. So, what the fuck? So, after that, yeah, we know how that goes. So, that's how my baby daddy found out that I was messing with his brother, but he did not know yet about how I was pregnant by his brother. So after that, his brother, we at this point, I told his brother, yeah, I'm having a baby, we pregnant, whatever. What we gonna do? So he's like, this just what we gotta do, and I'm like, okay, cool. So, me and my second baby daddy at this point, ain't even the brother. This is my second baby daddy at this point. So I'm like, me and my baby daddy, my second baby daddy, we cool. All right, we talking about we can't do this relationship no more. Yes, we can. We having a baby at this point. We ain't, shit, what we gonna do? So, I'm low-key fucked up, damn, bitch, the brothers. So I'm I just gotta tell my first baby daddy. So one day my baby dad had called me, and I'm like, look, he like trying to, hey, how you doing? Like, what's my daughter doing? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, look, I just gotta let you know right now, like, I'm having a baby. And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And at this time we weren't together, so he really wasn't fucked up with me. But he's like, damn. He's like, that's crazy. Do you know what it is yet? And I'm like, yes, a boy. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, that's good. He's like, I'm happy for you, whatever. He's like, I didn't think you would have a baby on me or whatever. And I'm like, I didn't have a baby on you. We're not together. And he's like, I mean, yeah, you're right, but like, still. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, well, I got something else to tell you. He's like, oh shit, what is it? And I'm like, his name is the dad. He's like, what? And I'm like, your brother is the dad. Like, and I low key, bitch, I was shaking. I was scared. So he's like, bitch, what the fuck you mean? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like going off and cussing me out. And he's like, well, since he's the dad, bitch, I know he around somewhere. And I'm like, well, he finna pull up. He went to the store real quick to go get me something to eat. And he was like, oh, so y'all living together. Y'all playing house now. And I'm like, no, not technically, but like technically. And he was like, bitch, y'all all the way through, bitch. Y'all played out this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, I'm like, I'm sorry, like, that was never supposed to happen, you know, after you, like, found out me and him was fucking with each other. Like, we actually was like, we finna not fuck with each other no more. And then things just kind of transpired. And he was going to fuck off, y'all. So he only had like a month or two left until he was supposed to get out of prison, right? I think it was like a month and a half. So boom, he ended up getting out, y'all. Why did he beat his brother the fuck up? Like, bloody nose. Like, he sent his brother to the hospital, y'all. He didn't do that to me. He don't put his hands on bitches, but he sent his brother to the hospital, y'all. So now me and my my first baby daddy are back together, and everything's cool, you know. Like, I think he kind of fucked up, and I did have the baby, so I got 2 kids now. And I mean, that's his uncle daddy now. Yeah. So that's tea of the day. Story time about how my baby daddy's mom found out that I had a baby by both of her sons, which means the brothers. If you haven't watched my other story time about how I had a baby by my baby daddy's brother, go watch that before you watch this. So before we get into the story time, I just want to address a few things. First of all, I hate when people call me white, think I'm white. I am not white. I don't got an ounce of white in me. I'm very light complected, but I am not white. Not my baby daddy. My daddy is straight out of Mexico. My mama is from, the States, but she is not white neither. Neither of my parents are white. I am not white. I'm Mexican as hell. Both of the dads are black. They're brothers. They're both black, very much black. And third, no, the second baby dad is not in my son's life. The brothers do not get along to this day. And I don't got no problem with the second baby dad, but we just don't speak. So I think that's really it. Alright, so let's get right into the story time. So in the last story time, I told y'all about how when my baby dad called and he told me that he wanted to talk to his daughter, see how his daughter was and everything. I just pretty much told him, like, look, I need to tell you something. Hold on, my mama dog is tripping. So after I told him, like, I'm pregnant by your brother and we're having a boy, he pretty much started spazzing on me, cussing me out, telling me he gonna do this, that, and third whenever he get home. And I told him I don't want no smoke, like, none at all. So after that, I guess he ended up calling his mama, and he told her what was going on. He's like, tell me why Naya's pregnant by my brother and they're having a little boy. And she's like speechless, like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, she thought he was joking at first, and he's like, no, like, I'm dead serious. Like, call her and ask her. So this lady ended up hanging up the phone with him. She called me and she's like, tell me why Blase just called me and said that you having a baby with Blase. She's like, is this true? And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, and how far along are you? And I'm like, I tell her, and she's like, and you didn't think to tell nobody? And I'm like, I mean, this is not really nobody's business but ours. So, I told who needed to know. And so she's like, well, he got a sister for you. So, I mean, that's, whenever you drop this baby, that's that. And so I'm like, bitch, I got plenty of sisters. What up? The fuck? So she's like, okay, well, let me call his sister, and if that's what you want to do, we can do. I said, I don't want to do nothing. First of all, I'm pregnant. But if that's what y'all want to do, we can do that. So anyway, I ended up calling my sister up, and I'm like, hey, so-and-so mom trying to get his sister to fight me because, you know, the situation. So she's like, oh, okay, we'll say no more. She's like, let me get ready, whatever. And she's like, and then I'll, you know, pull up. So I'm like, all right, cool. So anyway, the mom ended up texting me. She said, meet us at Bones Hook. And I'm like, all right, cool. You ain't got to say no motherfucking more, bitch. I'm on the way. So I pull up to my sister. I go get two of my sisters, actually. Only one's supposed to come, but I go get two of my sisters. And we pull up over there. And then the mama there, the sister there. That's it. And it's me and my two sisters. So they end up fighting. I ain't gonna hold you. My sister got her ass whooped the first round. Like, I'm talking about beat the fuck up. I'm like, oh, brother. So, mind y'all, they fighting because I got pregnant by both the brothers. So, I'm just like, my sister finna whoop my ass after this. So, anyway, yeah, so they fought that one time. And then my sister was like, hold on, I need some motherfucking water. So, my sister went to the car, got some water or whatever. And my sister-in-law is calling out my other sister, like, what up? My other sister, she's not a fighter, okay? She's like, I'm not fighting y'all. Like, I'm just here to watch. I'm here for emotional support. So they was like, yeah, y'all ain't like that for real, blah, blah. And I'm like, we is not. We are not, boo. Like, we is not like that. So anyway, my sister come back from the car, and little did I know, my sister had her hands wrapped. And I did not know what she had going on. So I'm looking at her like, what the fuck? So after that, come to find out, okay, so my sister get to whooping this hoe. Like, I'm talking about, sorry, I didn't mean to call her a hoe. Like, we cool now. But she get to whooping this hoe. Like, I'm talking about whooping the fuck out of her. Like, worse than she did her type shit. So we get back in the car. I'm like, what the fuck you had in your hands? Like, brass knuckles? Like, is you cool? And she's like, no. She's like, I spray mace on this cloth. And she's like, I ripped this hoe up and I put it on my hands. She's like, I wasn't finna go out like that. I said, yup, as you should. Ain't no rules of fighting. Clock it. So anyway, so they both got their round. After that, you know, sister left a little bloody. My sister left a little bloody. And that's just that on that, right? So after that, you know, I didn't speak to the family after that. Like, for a little bit. So the mama ended up reaching back out to me, and she's like, when are you supposed to have this baby? And I tell her whatever. And she's like, okay, well, what do you need for this baby? So I tell her like the few things that I had left that I had to get the baby or whatever. And so she's like, okay, I'll get it for you, whatever. She ended up getting it and everything. I ended up having my son, and everything was all fine and dandy. Everything was cool. So after that, I ended up having my son, like I said. Everything was cool. And then the sister hit my phone. She's like, oh, bitch, you thought you was cool after that? She's like my mama said, when you drop that baby, it's up. And I'm like, I don't want no smoke, girl. I don't want no motherfucking smoke. Y'all, this girl must have pulled up to my motherfucking house. And so I'm low-key scared to come outside. I'm like, fuck, you know what Mo3 says? She's scared to come? Yeah, I'm scared to come outside. So I'm like, fuck. I'm trying to call people. Nobody answering. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm going to just have to come out here and take this ass whooping for fucking both her brothers. Like, bitch, that's me, not you. What the fuck? Why are you mad? So anyway, I'm like, well, I come outside. I'm like, well, your niece and your nephew out there. Like, what we going to do? And she's like, girl, they be all right while you get this ass whooping. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I come outside. I come outside with no shoes on. Bro, when I tell you I got to whooping this hoe, I was lost. Like, bitch, when did you learn to fight? What the fuck? I'm whooping this hoe, boom. She started whooping on me. I'm like, oh, okay. See, this is why. Getting your head all big, girl. You got to chill out. So, boom, she whooped my ass. Like, I whooped her ass for a cool minute. This hoe whooped my ass up and down the motherfucking street. I said, oh, my God. This is why you don't fuck brothers. So, yeah, after that, mind y'all, the dad is not really around. Like, not really. He's not around. So, like, the dad is out of the picture. It's just the two sisters and the two brothers. I mean, the mom and the sister and then the two brothers. So, yeah, that was really it. And then she said, all right, now we cool. She's like, I whooped your ass and now we cool. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be cool with you after you whoop my ass just because I fucked both your brothers? Like, bitch, what they got to do with you for real? Like, but I was like, whatever, because I don't want my ass whooped again. So, after that, my baby daddy come home, whatever, and he's like, I don't agree with everything that happened. He's like, but we just gonna let all of that go. Let the past be the past. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever floats your boat. So after that, he like tell me, because every time we go to like his family house or whatever, it's always some type of tension. So he tell me like, I just feel like, you and my family need to sit down and have a conversation, like you, my mom, and my sister. And I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't got no problem with doing it. I know they're not gonna come around, but it's all right. So I ended up reaching out to the mom, and I'm like, hey, can you and Kiki, come and have lunch with me? I just want to discuss some things. So she's like, I mean, I really don't want to discuss, but we can do that. So we ended up going to have lunch. I bring my son, which is the second baby daddy child. I bring him or whatever. They playing with him. They talking to him. This is not the first time they met him, obviously, but yeah. And everything's cool, fine and dandy. Well, I ended up telling him like, look, like, things happen how they happen. There's nothing I can do to take it back. There's no rewinding. We done all fought around this motherfucker. I done had a baby by both the brothers. Like, me and the baby daddy, my first baby daddy, got back together. Like, what are we gonna do now? Like, we can't just always come around with tension. So the mom was like, the sister was like, nah, that's your fault. Like, nobody didn't tell you to go do that. Nobody didn't tell you to be fast. And I'm just like, it's not your problem that I'm faster than Mexican music, bitch. Like, that's my problem. But yeah, so she's not like really budging. And the mom's like, look, she tell Kiki, she's like, shut up. So she's like, look, at the end of the day, like you said, things happen how they happen. She said, we will work on our relationship with you. She said, I'm not saying it'll be better within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She said, but we will work on our relationship with you. So I'm just like, all right, cool. After that, y'all, everything got good, dandy. Now we can go over there. We can all talk and laugh, and everything's fine. And that's really it. Story time about how I found out my second baby daddy liked boys. So I do want to address this comment before we get into it. I will not show y'all both baby daddies. I will show y'all the first one, which I already posted on my story. I might do a reveal later if he wants to be in the camera, but yeah, I'm not showing y'all the second one. He beat bitches for a living. Okay, so if you haven't watched the other story time when I told y'all about how I had a baby by my baby daddy's brother, go watch that first and then get into this one. So let's get right into it. Like I told y'all, me and my baby daddy, my first baby daddy, were not together. At this point, I had already told him that I was having a baby by his brother. His mom, knew at this point. Everything had already transpired, like everything. So at this point, like I said, we already having a baby, and he ended up moving into my house with me. After he had moved into the house, everything was cool, fine and dandy, and he was working at first, and then he had lost a job, and he was out of his job for I think like a month, like maximum. But at this point, he was out for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I was working at Amazon at the time. I worked overnight, and when I was at work, my mom kept my baby overnight. So at this point, I'm at work and everything, and he had texted me and told me like, well, no, before I had went to work, he told me he might go out. So then when I was at work, he texted me and he told me like he's gonna go out with his friends or whatever, and this was not out of the ordinary. I didn't really care if he went out. So he ended up going out with his friends or whatever, and well, supposedly, and I didn't have his location or nothing. I didn't care to. So the texting kind of slowed down whenever he had went out with his friends, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I like to get a lot of hours at work, especially when I worked at Amazon. I love to get extra hours. So I would never like come home early. I would always usually stay like an hour or two later. Well, I did not want to stay late this day. They had offered VTO, and I was like, yeah, I need that. So my job was pregnant at the time, so I really just didn't want to be there at this point. So he did not know that I was coming home early. Like I said, I usually stay later rather than come home early. So at this point, he stopped texting me. It's like 2:30 in the morning, so it's not unusual. Like I'm assuming he's asleep. So I ended up going straight home. I didn't go get my daughter because she was asleep. My mom said just leave her and then go get her in the morning. So I just ended up going straight home. And when I got home, I noticed another car. It wasn't in our in our driveway. It wasn't in front of our house, but it was like in front of the house next door. And that car's never there, but like I didn't really think nothing of it because like I don't know who them people have at their house. So I ended up, like ignoring the fact, and then I go inside the house. Well, I go to the front door or whatever. I go inside the house. So whenever I go inside the house, I'm very quiet because I think he's asleep. Well, he was asleep, but I'm like, he's asleep, let me be quiet. So I go inside the house, y'all. When you go inside the house, it's the living room, and then like you look straight, it's the kitchen, and then you turn to the right, there's the hallway, and like right when you enter the hallway, there's my bedroom. So whenever I go into the hallway, y'all, like I hear heavy snoring. He does not snore like this. I'm like, why the fuck is he snoring? So he is not that tired. So I walk in a room, and I'm telling him, I'm like, why are you snoring so loud? You is not that tired. And boom, y'all, what do I see? 2 men in the bed. I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all, whenever I tell you I was shook, I was fucking shook. So I'm like, what the fuck do y'all got going on? And he's like, oh no, this my homeboy, he just needed a place to stay for the night. So I told him he could stay here till his baby mama stop tripping. And I'm just like, so he had to sleep in a bed with you? My bed with you, bitch? Like, no, there's a couch. There's 2 couches in the living room for a reason. There's a carpet on the floor if he wanted to sleep on the floor. Like, he did not have to sleep in a bed with you. And he's like, I mean, yeah, you're right, but I just wanted him to be comfortable, because he's going through a hard time right now. And I'm like, bitch, we going through a hard time right now, bitch. Your mama don't like me, your sister don't like me, bitch. Your brother don't like me, which is my baby daddy, bitch. Like, I'm pregnant by the brothers, bitch. I'm going through a lot, ho. Get this motherfucker out my bed. So he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, you probably have to go because, you see my girl tripping or whatever. He's like, oh, no, bro, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me stay or whatever. Like, cool. Yeah. I'm just standing there, like, waiting for him to get out the bed. He's like, why you gotta be in here while he getting out the bed? I'm like, bitch, why do I not need to be out here when he getting out? In here when he getting out the bed, bitch. Like, get out the fucking bed. He's like, nah, just get out. Like, you don't gotta be in here. So at this point, I'm like, is you cool? So I'm just like, what the fuck? So now I'm really not getting out because now there's some weird shit going on. So boom, I'm just standing there. He's like, nah, bro, I just gotta get out. He's like, I'm not finna sit here, wait for her to get out for 30 minutes. Y'all, he get out the bed, no drawers. I'm talking about no drawers. Weenie just out. And I'm like, I know y'all not doing what the fuck I think y'all doing. And he's like, nah, it ain't even like that, like, that's just how he sleep at home. He wanted to be comfortable. Bitch, you got me fucked up. So boom, I turned the fucking lights on, y'all. Why did I go to the bed? I took them goddamn blankets off. My man is my baby daddy, bitch, is naked too. Y'all got me fucked up. So I start looking at the bed, bitch. It's marks. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's wet spots everywhere on the bed. I am fucking confused, bitch. So I start looking around. Y'all, the clues is in my motherfucking face. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, bitch, you got me fucked up. Like, you got me all the way fucked up. Like, both of y'all can get the fuck out, bitch. He's like, it ain't even like that. Like, we wasn't doing nothing. He was like, he did ask if I wanted to experiment, but I ended up telling him no, so we didn't end up doing nothing. Bitch, for one, I wouldn't give a fuck if it was really just an experiment, bitch, but I know you lying, ho. Get the fuck out. So I tell him, like, bitch, this is why I should have never fucked with you, bitch. You is my baby daddy brother anyway, ho. Like, all of us is trifling, but bitch, y'all fucking trifling, bitch. So, yeah, that happened or whatever. Then, they ended up leaving, both of them. They get dressed and they leave in dude's car. And I'm just up, like, bitch, I couldn't even sleep at this point. I'm like, what the fuck? So, my baby dad come back at, like, 6:30 in the morning or so. Mind y'all, I'm still awake. Like, I could not sleep at this point. Like, what the fuck? I'm pregnant by a down low? Like, how is you cool? So, he come back or whatever. He knocking on the door. I'm not answering. I see him through my camera. I'm not answering. So, finally, I answer through the camera. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck do you want? He's like, I just need to talk to you. And I'm like, cool. Talk, bitch. And he's like, no, like, I want to come inside. I just need to talk to you. So, he come inside, whatever, y'all. At this point, like, I'm just like, I don't even care, bitch. Like, you're that. Like, no. So, he come inside or whatever, and mind you, I told y'all he got out of prison, like, At this point, it wasn't too long. It was not, I don't think it was even a year. So he this is not the first baby dad, this is the second baby dad. They both went to prison at some point. So the second one, he's like, you know, kind of getting mad, like, while we talking, he kind of getting mad and shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you mad for, bitch? I need to be mad, bitch. You fucked a dude in my bed, bitch, and I am a female, bitch. What did that make you? So anyway, he ended up getting mad, y'all. Tell me why he tell me he finna go get his sister for me again. And I'm like, bitch, you finna have your sister pull up and whoop my ass again and put me up and down the street because you are that word, bitch? Like, this ain't adding up. Like, I just gotta leave this family alone, ain't it? So he just saying, like, yeah, you gonna have to listen to me or I'm gonna call my sister. And I'm like, I ain't scared of your sister, bitch. That bitch could whoop me up and down the motherfucking street, bitch. She could whoop my ass up and down the motherfucking city, bitch. I would not give a fuck. Hell, I'm not scared of her. Like, call her, call the big bad wolf bitch, and call whoever the fuck else. Hold, this my house. What the fuck? So yeah, he ended up leaving, and he really called his sister. Like, he was sitting outside, he on the phone, whatever, and then boom, that's when the sister had pulled up. Y'all gonna have to come back for part 2.
The fact that she's back with the first brother now, that's a lot. It takes a very particular kind of person to look at their partner, their ex, and their ex's brother and think, yeah, this is manageable. Sure, they're co-parenting now, which shows growth, but you have to wonder if the resentment is really resolved or just shoved down deep where no one has to look at it. Having a baby with your ex's brother while that ex is locked up, that's a level of keeping it in the family most people can't even fathom. It's a secret with weight, the kind that sits heavy on everyone involved. So when he got out and it came to blows, of course it did. You're talking about a double betrayal, romantic and familial. That's not the kind of hurt you smooth over with an apology and a handshake. But the real MVP here? Grandma. Most mothers would have stayed ride or die with their son, especially after arranging a fight over it. But she eventually came around, sat down for lunch, and chose her grandbabies over the grudge. That's the kind of maturity that holds a fractured family together when everything else is falling apart. Because let's be real, when people say a family is close, they usually don't mean this close. Life is too short to protect the wrong things, stay silent about the right things, or let fear keep you from choosing integrity over comfort. These stories all show what happens when people don't act, and the few glimmers of hope come from those who finally did. But here's what else I learned. When you don't speak up, when you look the other way, when you choose comfort over courage, you're not just staying neutral. You're making a choice. And that choice often protects the powerful while abandoning the powerless. The child stays abused. The mother stays in danger. The truth stays buried. Your inaction becomes someone else's burden. Blood doesn't excuse harm. Marriage vows don't justify abuse. Church membership doesn't cover up crimes. Real loyalty means loving people enough to tell them the truth, hold them accountable, and sometimes walk away. The grandmother learned this. The church community didn't. One family is healing, the other is still fractured. 15 years, a lifetime, a generation. Pain doesn't disappear just because time passes. But it also means it's never too late to start healing, to tell your truth, to seek help, to break the cycle. The young man at 28 is still finding his voice. The daughter is still honoring her mother. Healing isn't linear, and it doesn't have a deadline. When a community rallies around victims, demands justice, and creates safe spaces for truth, it can save lives. But when it circles the wagons around abusers, silences the vulnerable, and prioritizes image over integrity, it becomes an accomplice to the harm. Choose your community wisely, and if you're part of one that's broken, be brave enough to call it out or leave. That young man can forgive his abuser without ever speaking to him again. The daughter can find peace without ever getting full justice. The family can coexist without pretending the betrayal didn't happen. You don't owe anyone access to your life just because you've let go of bitterness. Healing is yours to define. You won't always have the power to stop the harm, solve the injustice, or fix the broken system. But you always have the power to refuse to participate in it, to not stay silent, to not enable, to not turn away, to not choose comfort over someone else's safety. That's the real lesson. Be the person who shows up, who speaks up, who stands up, even when it's messy, even when it costs you. Because the alternative, living with the knowledge that you could have done something and didn't, that's a weight far heavier than the temporary discomfort of doing the right thing.